The UK's only electric estate car has just got better, the MG5. Now this first launched in 2020, and since then it's turned heads left, right and centre, introducing the new and far better MG5. I'm Ben Quirk, welcome to Planet Auto. Estate cars have always been a staple in the UK, and since the arrival of the SUV, well, manufacturers don't seem to make them, well, not as many anyway. They're practical, they're versatile, and you can stuff things like, I don't know, boilers, dinghies, mountain bikes, yes, not cattle like I was rigged for the last time, even a sheep or two. Now when we first saw this, it amazed us. I mean, for a start, it didn't look like what you expected from MG, but that made sense because it was built on the Motorway platform, and it still is. It's essentially the same car, same powertrain, same chassis, same model. It's just been heavily facelifted, or as Annabelle would say, MG-ified. I mean, for a start, you've got LED lights on the front and the rear. When it first launched, it had, I think it was halogens. Now, they weren't bad, but these are far better. And it's now got its own identity. It doesn't look like, well, as I described it at the time, conservative German. It looks like an MG powertrain. Single motor, 115 kilowatts and a 61 kilowatt hour battery, and that's on the SE and the Trophy. A range of around 250 miles or 235, depending on which trim you go for. SE and the Trophy that we've got. Colours, well, 6. And the range starts at just under £31,000, which seems, well, competitive to say the least. Or that's what you'd normally say, but because it's the only electric estate car, well, it kind of stands on its own. But it's damn good value whichever way you look at it. Ours is closer to 34, but as it's a Trophy, it's got 17-inch wheels, heated seats, aircon, and of course a 360 camera. Now this has changed a fair bit. It's not just the exterior styling, they've also refreshed the interior and it looks far more futuristic. It's got more tech, including vehicle to load. It's also got iSmart app compatibility, and the one that everybody's been waiting for, MG Pilot. It's certainly changed for the better. Not that it was bad to start with. It's now got its own identity. Before, its design language wasn't what you'd call, well, now. But this, yeah. No, I like it. I really do. It's got the angles and the styling and the colour combinations and just, well, chunky aggressiveness that an MG looks, which makes it far more in tune with ZSEV and of course MG4. That is such a great looking car. And that's the thing, MG have gone from strength to strength. It's sleeker, it's more stylish. Things like this semi-clamshell, especially with the black gloss here. And the fact that it doesn't need a grille means they can be minimalist. But it's still got, well, some styling cues that are quite unique. Especially this, it's like a front air down. When you look a little closer, you see things like this. The brushed effect. Lots of safety, lots of tech, the LED lights with high beam assist, pedestrian detection systems, you get your adaptive cruise. Yes, this, well, floats one's boat. Front charging point. I think that's my preference. I mean, traditionally you'd have your petrol cap on the side, which made perfect sense. So the fact that most vehicles were like that to start with. But this makes it far easier. You drive in, you charge, you reverse out. Now 10 to 80% in around 35 minutes. And it'll charge up to 87 kilowatt hour. Not bad. It'll also home charge and Type 2. And yes, with vehicle to load, you can charge things like electric bikes. Now, as ours is a Trophy, we've got 17-inch wheels. If you go for the SE, you'll get 16s. Decent profile tyre, and not the lowest, so that reduces noise and makes it comfortable for the Michelin Primacy. Now, that's a heck of a tyre. The side has such a clean look. That's the thing, this doesn't need a body kit. It doesn't need arches. It looks great as it is. Power folding door mirrors, chrome that wraps around the windows, cosmic silver with the chromes and the black. What a combination. I suppose you'd call it stylish simplicity. It's also got an executive look to it. Privacy glass. Yeah, that wasn't available. Also, as it's an estate, people can't peer in and see, I don't know, your 14 grand electric bike, your coffee machine. Just makes things a little more secure. Keyless entry. And the door opens nice and wide. Yeah, hard plastics. The one thing I'm not too keen on. You've got a gloss insert, padded armrest. And it's like, well, a material that I used to see in early Subarus. Gives it a retro feel. Climbing in. Well, absolutely no problem. And that's at 6'3". Look at the difference. 10.25-inch screen, the rotary dial returns, and a floating centre console. Oh look, you can adjust your headlight beam. That means it'll tow, and it's half a tonne. Now I've got an electric seat, but sadly the passenger, well, you only get manual. They're comfortable, they're supportive, and they're great for long journeys, as we can attest to. It's a perfect driving position. 2-pedal system, as it's an electric car, and a decent footrest. I do like these blue inserts. Solid. I'm rocking the car, moving the centre console. It's one of those electric cars that you actually have to hit the start button, which, well, a lot of you may prefer. Lack of rotaries, but you do have proper buttons. Yes, you will find hard plastics, and there's a fair few. Up here, yeah, it's not bad, but this is far better. So there's different grades. Most of the things that you do see and touch are interesting materials like this. Brushed effect here. It is plastic, but the thing is, it all feels good. Leather wrapped steering wheel, cup holders. So one of the things that's been upgraded is the infotainment screen. It's the new system that we've seen in the 4, the ZS, so it's responsive, easy to use, and it's full of functionality. So you get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, now your home screen. Well, it says it all. You can see at a glance what the charge is in your vehicle and your navigation. And that's far quicker than the previous infotainment system. Proper decent buttons. Air conditioning, it's a joy to drive, easy to operate too. Rotary, so park in the centre, reverse, neutral drive. Electronic handbrake with an auto hold function. Mode, Eco, Comfort and Sport. KERS, or Regen, 3 levels. Now, there is no one-pedal driving. It does get quite heavy, but it's not the heaviest I've driven with. When you're in adaptive, which is a damn good system by the way, going into corners and it thinks you're going to touch fast, it will scrub some of the speed off. And yes, now you've got MG Pilot, but we'll take a deeper look at that in the driving section. Cluster. Well, straightforward. Fully digital on the right hand side. You can see when you're regenning, putting power down. Left hand side, speedo. Buttons on the steering wheel, and this stalk, you just hit set and it'll set it to the speed you're going. And then you can change distance, speed, etc. Nothing in here is overcomplicated. Other vehicles, you get in and think, actually I need a manual. By the way, the manual's in there. Not that you'll need it. It's certainly got its place in a lot of family homes. And it doesn't guzzle range. And that's even on motorways. Now at first glance you think, where are my charging ports? How do I connect? How do I charge my phone? Well, they're here. There's also extra storage. Nice wide armrest. It's just about wide enough for you and your passenger. Storage point here. Reach and rake in the steering wheel. And at 6'3", it's just not a problem. Height adjustment. Perfect. Now you'll probably notice I didn't mention grab handle, and that's because for some reason the driver's side hasn't got it. Please add one of those. Thank you. Now one thing the MG5 lacks, and has done since the first gen, is a sunroof. It'd be nice to have a big panoramic, but I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. It does everything well, and better than the previous gen. That was good. Let's take a look in the back. I almost forgot, a 6-speaker system, and now iSmart app integration, and it's really easy to bind the car. It's a rather pleasing silhouette. It's got a decent ride height. Wonder what an all-wheel drive model would be like. As it stands, well, it's capable. Now you've got your regen, but you've also got decent brakes. Front and rear discs with the front vented. Let's take a look in the back. Well, the door opens nice and wide. If you've noticed, it's a rather long door. Yeah, this looks simplicity to climb into. But a padded area, great to see. Well, the back seat's raised up a little bit, which means I did have to dip my head. But once in, I can just about get my feet under the seat. But this whole area was pretty wide. Now at 6'3", I've got enough headroom, but literally just. If I lean back, it does increase slightly. You can see I've got decent legroom, and this is set at a lavish 6'3". Dependent on trim, depends on which seats you get. If you go for the SE, you'll get the fabric. Ours are faux leather. They're comfortable, they're supportive. You've got a decent door pocket and an electric window. Yeah, no heated seats. That would have been nice to see. Storage point here. Ooh, I do like this. like a funky mathematical geometric pattern. Very cool. You've got a USB-A and a USB-C. It's quite a tall window, and that gives me a decent view. It also adds having this light headliner, especially with the privacy glass. I'm a fan of this one-piece carpet as well. Pull down armrest, 2 cup holders, ISOFIX points and airbags. Once again, comfortable and supportive seats. They don't recline. Faux leather. It doesn't feel cheap. I do like the blue stitching. One thing Annabelle would welcome is height adjustable seat belts in the front. Let's go and look at the revised rear. Well, it's certainly changed. It's far sleeker, far more modern, and it's certainly in keeping with the front. With the black accents here and here. And yes, now you've got rear LED lights. Reversing camera, parking sensors, even a sporty little spoiler with a high level brake light. It's a smart looking estate car. And more than that, the only one available in the UK. A boot lip. Mind you, as we know, it's based on the Motorway i5. Now at 6'3", I can't stand under it, but if you've noticed, it doesn't jut out too far, so that's great. Decent size. Get a few suitcases in there and a month's shop quite easily. Extra storage points here and dual height floor. Lift up this and you've got your storage point, your inflation kit and your charging cable. Have this wondrous item, your home charger. That is a nice neat case. Boot light, pull out load cover, you just slide this end in, make sure this is aligned here. Now there isn't a storage area for it, but it does fit in the boot quite nicely. I do like these. Keeps everything private, even if they're peering through the back window. Okay, let's drop the seats. Split folding, perfect for mountain bikes, so you could still have a passenger and your bike poking through the other side. Now they don't lay entirely flat, not really close to flat sadly, but it still increases it a fair bit. Now you have got a lip here. It would be nice to see that a little lower on, say, the next gen. The transformation, considering this was a petrol car, to make it electric and have all the functionality of an estate, well, they've done a damn good job. And at a price that, well, it's quite unbelievable, to be honest. Let's take a look under the bonnet. Do we think there's going to be a frunk? Nice and easy to open. Just slide this, right. No struts. There is no frunk, but it's nice and easy to see where you top up your fluids. There's a lot less to see than the first ZS EV. That's probably a good thing, especially with an electric powertrain. Solid. We've gained another mile. It's like a painting, isn't it?
Mystical.
Yeah, and there's like a mini cloud there, micro cloud. Is that she?
Yeah.
Nice. We can't film much
The road
more
goes
with
through the front door.
It does look that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Off the beaten track once again. This is, yeah, it's either that way or this way. Both look pretty sketchy. Like a Ford.
What angle here?
Oh! Yeah! Whoa! That's, wow. Nice and refined when you get in here though, isn't it? Woo!
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
Little oasis from the storm out there. Wow. It's actually got my leg.
Nice. Now we've certainly demonstrated how well this does in waterlogged, I suppose is the word. So that puts some myths to bed.
And an interesting thing is, the range has only dropped a mile. It dropped to 174 when I was talking, and it's only on 173 now. And we've gone more than a mile, haven't we?
Oh yeah, way more. More like 3 to 4.
Yeah.
It's an efficient car if you drive it as such. The thing is, even if you keep blipping the throttle in sport, it still won't zap as much range as you expect it to. Because I mean, when I was up in the lakes over the weekend, I was going at anything from 55 down to 12 because Tunbridge in the Mark II behind us didn't know the roads, and when he comes to the country, because he's from London, he tends to slow down to cornering. Love it. Steering on this, it's nice and direct, it gives you good feedback, and dependent on mode, the weight changes, also the faster you get. Put it in sport though, and it offers a rather engaging experience. The acceleration, the steering, and the pliable suspension, but the weight of the powertrain just makes it fun. The thing is, it's perfect for, say, airport runs, taxis, and people who just like to get out and want an estate car.
Yeah, it's an adventure vehicle, isn't it, really?
It is.
Well, our time in the newly improved MG5, the fully electric estate car, has come to an end. If you want to see more about how well this drives, check out our numerous road trips. Thanks for watching.